Hey, Dalton, I'm over here just a few blocks down from you, having some fun skating on the ice. I'm down here at the Silky Ice Rink, enjoying the holiday season with many folks and friends around me. I know the Gatton Academy is out here tonight enjoying the ice rink and kicking off the holiday season.
Well, it's Black Friday out there. It's a little chilly, though, if you're waiting in line,
chilly.
right?
Yeah, if you're out there waiting in line, hopefully you had that jacket handy as temperatures are on the colder side this morning. But the good news is, we'll say this is the deal of the day. Temperatures are going to warm up as we go throughout your afternoon time hours. However, we do have increasing clouds. Check out Scottsville Road this morning. A little traffic starting to pick up. We're still dealing with the severe thunderstorm warning that's just to the east of Elizabethtown. That's going to be gliding off to New Haven along 31 East here in just the next few minutes. That tornado warning is just outside of our viewing area for Nelson County, but this severe thunderstorm warning is due to the 60-mile-an-hour radar-indicated gust of wind that can be expected as this storm continues to glide just off to the east. So if you're in that area, batten down the hatches as you can expect some gusty winds over the next couple of minutes. You see this counterclockwise flow, and yes, folks, that is a low-pressure system. This low-pressure system now moving into the Lone Star State. It is bringing up moisture from the Gulf, and it's going to create an environment that is very saturated, that has a lot of moisture. We had this process called dynamic cooling, and I know the word's been thrown around a lot today, and basically how dynamic cooling is, when you have so many parts of precipitation falling at such a heavy rate, you're having a lot of updraft, and what that happens is when the parcels are rising, you're getting adiabatic expansion. And if you think about like a particle, if you're squeezing it, it's obviously going to get warmer. If it's expanding, it's not interacting as much, and that's where you get cooling, and then you get the snowflakes.
Gene, I'll tell you what, it is blistering cold outside. I've been out here for a little bit, and I'll tell you what, it's not just the temperatures, it's the wind. When that wind just barely picks up, it feels like needles on your fingers, and my hands are frozen as we speak, and I definitely need to get myself a pair of gloves. But as far as rain and snow, we're actually dry right now here in downtown Bowling Green. But if you take a look just behind me, there's a little bit of some snowflakes, you see, that fell from earlier. We had a little Passover snow shower that brought us, we'll call it our first snow of the season. But I know for many folks, we were expecting some more snow, but it looks like this one was another bust. But we are still dealing with some very cold temperatures across the region. So again, if you are planning to head outdoors this evening or taking the kids to the bus stop in the early morning hours, bundle them up because it is blistering cold outside. And again, give yourself some extra time as you're headed out. These cold temperatures going to drop into the 20s overnight. That allows for some freezing on those roadways, especially again those bridges and overpasses may see some black ice. So be careful, give yourself some extra time. If you don't have to come outdoors, stay inside and keep a hot cup of cocoa by your side. Coming to you live in downtown Bowling Green. Back to you, Gene.
First Alert Weather sponsored by Med Center Health.
We're shaping up for quite a messy night here in southern portion of Kentucky as we do have those winter weather advisories in effect now. That is for the southern part of the state, all counties included along the Tennessee border. That is until 11 o'clock in the morning for your day tomorrow. Now, our folks just down into Tennessee, it's in effect until noon tomorrow. Now, we do have that winter storm warning, though, for Christian and Todd counties as there's been an increased chance for some ice to move into their region. And we're going to continue to watch that as the Storm Prediction Center is still analyzing, as well as the National Weather Service in Louisville is looking at the situation and seeing where we could see some heavier icing and could possibly see this warning maybe extended as we head into the late night hours. We'll keep you updated on that if that does come out. But we do have some winter weather starting to make its way into the region. We're watching that on Doppler Max. Getting some reports now into southern parts of Warren County, including parts of Plano. Had a report from Shane, our meteorologist here. He told us that they already had a glazing over his car. So we're starting to see this freezing rain make its way. We've been watching all day where that moisture line is. You notice where it's cut off. That's where that dry air versus saturated air is. And once it's been starting to make its way in, that's where we're starting to see that rain fall. And since we're flirting with that freezing temperature, that's where we're starting to see some freezing rain, but that could change over to sleet and even some snow as we head into your late night and even your early morning hours. Scottsville has been seeing the rain for quite a while. This is freezing rain as they are at that 32-degree temperature. So once it reaches the ground on contact, it freezes. So the entire profile of the atmosphere has to be 32 degrees for that snow to happen. So we are still seeing rain in Scottsville, meaning there is a warm boundary in the mid to upper levels. Taking a look out here in Bowling Green, though, we're starting to see maybe a little bit of wetness on the roadways. Otherwise, not too bad right now here on Scottsville Road here in Bowling Green, but we are going to watch that change as we head into your late night hours. Temperature-wise, though, we are flirting with that 32-degree temperature. We're sitting at 33 degrees right now. It is also breezy out there, 12-mile-per-hour winds out of the northeast, and you notice that dew point at 22. So we're still watching that moisture try to make its way in. It'll continue to try to surge in as we go throughout your night. Temperatures across the board, though, we're flirting really with those low 30s across much of the region. You notice, though, colder 20s as we head up into the northern parts. Evansville at 28 degrees, Louisville at 29. Unfortunately for our friends up in the north, they're not quite getting the moisture, so they're not really going to see any way of the shape of the wintry weather as we go through the night, mainly focused in the southern portion of the state. Taking you to Green River Lake for your hometown forecast, sponsored by Kentucky Lottery. Going to make it down into the 32-degree mark for Greensburg and Columbia. Campbellsville coming in at 30 degrees for your nighttime low. Here's a look at the big system overall. You notice it is a very large and complex system. We have this low-pressure system just down into the Gulf, and it's really got a lot of moisture with it, but it's trying to inch its way up. We have this trough that's moved through, and that's causing some showers to the southern portion of the state of Tennessee, but you notice where that freezing line is trying to build its way in and mess with the moisture point. Now, this is the reason why this system is so complex. Not only are we dealing with where will that freezing temperature be of the entire profile of the atmosphere, but where will the moisture be? We are starting to see that moisture now surge its way in, and as we go through the night, this low pressure system is going to glide its way to the east, allowing some of that moisture to rise up, and that's going to give us our freezing rain as we head into your nighttime. Let's break it down on predictor right now. We see as we head into your late night, we start seeing some of that freezing rain, some ice, and maybe some sleet mixing in there. That's really going to be the case of the story as we go even through your early morning hours. Continue to see that across the southern part of the state. I think our mid portion and northern counties really are going to stay dry as the moisture is not quite there. Even as we head into your early morning hours on Sunday, continuing to see some ice build. It could be some hazardous roadway conditions if you're heading out in your early morning hours. You notice, though, that temperature jumps up to around 34 as we head into 6:30 in the morning, so we may see that switch over to rain as we head into your late morning hours, and maybe still see that chance for snow mixed in there as we head into your late morning hours before it clears out, and we'll start to see that move out of the region as we head into around your lunch hour. But we're still going to deal with a lot of clouds across the region. Temperatures still going to be on the cold side and going to be a cold Monday for you folks. So be prepared. We do have cold temperatures for your day tomorrow, and you may have some hazardous conditions as you head on the roadway. How much ice and snow are we talking about? This is the RPM model. It is a high resolution model, so it's able to depict the small scale stuff, and it is better for short term. It is picking up around 2/10 of an inch of ice. Earlier today has been saying about the same. The European model saying about 3/10 of an inch of ice across the southern part of the state. The North American model has started to back down a little bit compared to earlier at 3/10 of an inch of ice. Now, as far as snow, really is going to stay on the lower scale. There is going to be a band of snow going to set up, but you notice how narrow this band is. If there is one slight change, this could glide up to the north, and we could see maybe an increased chance of snow. So here's what we expect here in Bowling Green. Up to 1 to 3 inches as you head to the south. Here in Bowling Green across our southern part of the state, around an inch or so or less of snow. Our real main threat is going to be that ice. Up to 3/10 of an inch of ice across the southern part of the state. We'll watch that as we go throughout your nighttime hours. Otherwise, a warm week coming up as we head back into the 50s before some rain moves in late week. Sean?
Hello everyone, Justin Hobbs here with you on another chilly day across South Central Kentucky. We're taking a look again from on top of the studio. Take a look at the skies just behind me. You notice some really cool patterns in the skies right now. That's what we call gravity waves, and they're really dominating quite a bit of the sky this evening. We have a really strong cloud coverage, and we're going to continue to see clouds as we go through tonight. We are going to see cold temperatures as well. We will have a system move in, a small disturbance going to cause some rain.
Right now looks to be right over I-65 again. No reports just yet of anything on the ground. However, we did have some damage along this as it has been holding on to that little bit of a notch. So we're still dealing with that freeze warning. That's just off to parts of our central region and off to our east, dealing with that freeze warning. That's in effect until 8 o'clock in the morning. However, some of our counties are now under that frost advisory up towards Todd, Muhlenberg, Ohio, up to Breckenridge County, and just to the northwest, dealing with that frost advisory. I'm actually out of breath right now because I ran outside to actually grab something. Check this out. A little bit of snow still on the ground.
Snow
a little cold.
Should I eat it? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. But yeah, so some folks across the region saw a little bit of some snow as we went throughout the day yesterday, and they're still dealing with some ice. Check this out. Taking a look on the roadways just behind me, you notice there is a little bit of some water, and as we go into your late night hours, cold temperatures are definitely taking over.
You can see my breath right now, so the cold temperatures are definitely invading the region, and as it gets colder through the night, we could see some of those road conditions get a little more slick, especially on those elevated surfaces. And we're going to be out here. It's opened up until 10 o'clock tonight here at the Soki Ice Rink. We have a lot of festivities going on tonight, so come on out and join us. We're going to go ahead and ice skate on out of here. We'll see you later, Gene.